Hey resellers, this is it. Day 24 of Vlogmas. The last day of vlogging and uploading every single day. Why? In an attempt to get better. Practice makes perfect? No, not really. Practice makes you better though. I just want to put out better videos. But perfection, I guess that's really what I want to talk to you guys about today. It's Christmas Eve, and the idea that Christmas isn't easy for everyone is not wasted on me. Maybe all of the festivities leading up to Christmas aren't really the easiest thing in the world for you either. I wanted to let you know today that you're really not alone in that. If Christmas is hard for you, it's hard for a lot of us. Even amidst everything seemingly being perfect in someone's life. Even if you feel like things are perfect in your life. I can't speak for everyone, but I can speak for me. So I'll just say, as for me, I don't feel like I could be in a better place right now. Life is way better than I deserve. I don't say that just out of habit. I say that because I recognize it and I don't want to take it for granted. I wake up every morning understanding how blessed I am. I go to bed every night understanding how blessed I am. And sometimes Christmas makes me cry. So if Christmas is hard for you, understand that it's hard for a lot of us. Even if life is perfect, especially if it's not, you're allowed to have a difficult time around Christmas. I have family that lives 1,000 miles away, and I know that there's not a single chance that I could see them for Christmas. And that's hard. It makes Christmas music hard leading up to Christmas. I finally just turn on kids' Christmas music because there's something about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer that is a lot easier to digest when you're missing your family than Blue Christmas. Home for the holidays, you know. The idea of a perfect Christmas though, let's just throw that out the window. Before we get started tomorrow, before the first thing goes in the oven, before the first present gets unwrapped under the tree, will you just cast off the idea of perfection? The truth is, it's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect. But this idea of perfection, well, it's understandable why we're always trying to attain it because, well, it reminds me of something, and really it's the most important story I could possibly tell you guys today. A long, long time ago, shepherds sat in a field and their idea was perfection. Their job was to keep the sheep perfect because the sheep would have to be a perfect sacrifice to our perfect God who demanded perfection from us. The bar was set so high at perfection. So the shepherds had a really hard job, and while they sat at night watching the sheep, making sure not one of them had a scratch on them so that they would be a worthy sacrifice to God, they got news one night. In the midst of their very important job to maintain perfection in the flock. Man, that resonates with me. In the midst of my important day to maintain perfection, right? In the midst of their very important job of maintaining perfection, an angel came to them. And you have to understand that for hundreds of years, they had been waiting. All of these people have been waiting for true perfection, for our Savior. And here in the middle of the night shift, these shepherds were just hanging out with the sheep, making sure nothing attacked them, and they remained unblemished. How many of you guys are working round the clock to maintain perfection? An angel comes and says, he's here. The one that you've waited for hundreds of years, he's here. A child has been born and he is lying in a manger. Now listen, this child is not just any child. This child is perfection. This child was a perfect king. This child was a perfect king, and he has a kingdom, and he sat on a throne above that kingdom. But he looked around and he didn't see you there. He understood that the bar was so high and there was no way to lower the bar, that we, so imperfect, would ever make it over it. So he didn't lower the bar. He gave up this throne to come to earth, not to lower the bar for us, but to elevate us and take us with him and raise us up over this bar. This unattainable goal of perfection, well, I guess it's just our nature. At the end of the day, I think this goal that we have of perfection, maybe we're just looking forward to this perfect king who wanted to take us to perfection with him. So the shepherds went looking for the child, and there they found him lying in a manger. In a manger, guys. Did you hear that? Not in a hospital. Not even in an inn, not in a tabernacle, not in a palace the way you would expect a king to be born, but in a dirty manger. I mean, let's get real about it. There were live animals around, and well, everything that live animals bring with them. There was nothing perfect about it except for him. So this Christmas, when happiness is hard to find, I want you to find joy. When it's hard to delight yourself in your circumstance, or something out of your control has robbed you of what you feel like could be perfection in your life right now, or you feel like could be your perfect Christmas or your perfect holiday, forget happiness. We don't need happiness when we have joy. And that joy will come from the only perfect thing in my life, and who could be the only perfect thing in your life. Because he didn't give up his kingdom to come down here and simply introduce himself to you. He gave up his kingdom to come here so that you might invite him in. The days are long, but the years are short. And let me tell you, we'll be celebrating Resurrection Sunday and Easter before long. But today, tomorrow, this weekend, we celebrate the coming of our Savior to earth. The fact that he would give up his palace and his throne to come to this imperfect world where happiness can sometimes be hard to find, just so that I might have joy. That to me just makes Christmas so perfect.